Oh, hi everyone, it's Susie Crew again from Esoteric Trading Solutions. I hope you're all well. Hope you're looking after yourself, you're being kind to yourself, kind to your family, kind to your friends, kind to your animals, and just being kind to anyone to make this world a better place. Just thought I'd do some technicals because they're looking very interesting at the moment, and we've got it absolutely right. We did say get long buy it because things look like they were bottoming, and we're pretty much right about that. One that I wanted to have a look at was Bitcoin gold. It does tend to get forgotten when we do look at technicals, and what I was looking at this and I bought it around $64, I think it was, because it looked really interesting. It looked extremely oversold to me, and honestly it hasn't got a lot of traction from the market. But just having a look at the daily on this, it really looks like to me it's been consolidating for a long time, you know, this sort of level 40-ish. It needs to get through this level here, this 96.629 on the Ichimoku, and on the pivot point about 91.50. But it really is clear sky if it gets through that. It could potentially, this thing could potentially get up to about $225. I think it's a great buy for me, for my portfolio. Obviously, if you're looking at your own, you've got to do your own due diligence, your own financial analysis, get an advisor or whatever. I'm not saying for other people to do it, but for me, this is what I look at, and for me, I think this is an opportunity. It just looks like to me it's going to break out topside, and you know, I'm actually long Bitcoin gold. If I look at the quarterly, the 4-hourly on this one, actually I might also just look at the weekly on this, just because I'm very interested just to see what it looks like on the weekly. As you can see on the weekly, it's hit a bottom of $40, and it does look to me like it can trade up a lot higher, probably 260, something like that. That's the way I'm looking at this. It's actually up 30% today, but I'm actually still happy to get long here. I tend to think this is very, very oversold indeed. If I look at it compared to, say, Bitcoin, just the traditional coin, Bitcoin. If I put Bitcoin on a weekly, just Bitcoin on a weekly, to me Bitcoin gold looks a lot better. Now don't forget, Bitcoin gold was a hard fork from Bitcoin last year. I think it was around the late October of last year, and there was a lot of controversial stuff about it, because don't forget the miners, the volunteers for Bitcoin gold wanted to make the coin more mineable for people that didn't have the expensive rigs, didn't have the expensive rigs and the expensive graphic cards and the expensive processors. They wanted to put Bitcoin back in the hands of the people, so decentralize it more in terms of the miners, because as you know, with Bitcoin, the traditional Bitcoin that we've got up on screen, it was being controlled by 5 miners out of China, and those 5 miners could decide if they wanted to validate a transaction or not, and if they didn't want to validate a transaction, they just keep putting up costs. And that was pretty much why Bitcoin was, trading at one stage like $55 for a transaction fee and the like, and it was just getting very expensive. Oh, excuse me, I'm thirsty. So the volunteers of Bitcoin gold wanted to do a hard fork so that people could actually mine the coin. What they did is they had another algorithm or another mathematical formula that didn't basically take as much computer grunt, obviously, as Bitcoin, and that mathematical formula to work out the coin's password could be done on any normal computer. Also with Bitcoin gold, they obviously want to make it scalable. They do in the future want to make it a lot faster, and if I remember rightly, they're looking later on at atomic swaps. They're going to be looking at smart contracts and a whole lot of other things. So, to me, it does have merit. It's pretty much it's nearly on about 50 exchanges, globally. So it is on a lot of different exchanges. Also, this thing had replay, and it's got a lot better security than Bitcoin from hackers, and it just tends to be, there tends to be a lot more factors going for it. So I do think Bitcoin Gold is still very oversold, and it is, as I said, up 30% today. So we got somewhere around that $60 or so. So if we have a look again at the weekly, you can see that at one stage it got up to about 478. I do remember vaguely though, I thought it got up to 600, but maybe I just imagined that. So we take it back to the 4-hourly, which is the one I like to look at for my trading. On the 4-hourly, you can see this thing's really, move quite quickly, and it does look to me it wants to go high. If I take that down to the daily again, the next level that I've got on this is pretty much, it's got to break this level here, 94, and then on the Ichimoku, what was it, about 96 or so. But if it breaks those levels, it's basically, it's got a lot of space up here. It's basically, it can go anywhere. And if you look at the volume here, it's done quite a bit of volume. The volume is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So look, I'm still buying this. I think it's really cheap for my portfolio. I like it. And, there's a lot of reasons why, I should be buying this Bitcoin Gold rather than Bitcoin, because the features of the coin, there's a lot better features of this coin in terms of security. It's got replay action. Also, anyone can mine this, so it's not in the hand of a few large, huge miners, 4 to 5 miners. And basically, there are going to be more developments on this, smart contracts, atomic swaps, and all sorts of things. So for me, that's what I'm looking at doing. If I look at, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin now, USD, and just have a look at the daily on Bitcoin. It does look very bullish to me. It looks very, very good. Some people were concerned that it might have been just a rally and then sell down again, but it's passed through this Ichimoku resistance of 9021. Looks like it's somewhere around, what do we got? It's always hard to tell on these charts. 9251. Next level is 10201.5. I do believe that Bitcoin can probably get back to 20,000 or so. I don't know whether you saw a comment by Tim Draper today, he's a renowned personal private investor, but he's basically saying the cryptocurrency market's as big as the Industrial Revolution. And I tend to agree with him. I think it's technology that we've never seen before, and it's going to change the world forever, and also the business world forever, particularly the finance community world forever. Also, I did another video about institutional money coming in. Basically, the institutionals are just waiting for this market to be regulated properly. But even then, there seems to be lots of institutionals that are very, very interested in coming to this market. And I've read that there's probably about 10 to 15 new hedge funds that are looking to come into this market. And these guys have billions and billions of dollars. Also, the Chinese government's set up a hedge fund as well, some sort of fund. And we're talking not millions, we're talking billions. And if that's the case, I know there's some pretty heady forecasts out there for Bitcoin itself, but honestly, Bitcoin only has about 4,000 coins left that have to be mined out of 21 million. It's not a lot. 4 million, I should say, not 4,000. It's not a lot. And when we look at the billions that are going to go into this market from the institutional market, look, I tend to believe that, the crypto market is going to go a lot higher. That's my own personal belief. And I wouldn't be shorting the crypto market for anything in certain coins, because I really believe once the institutional investor gets in, it's going to be an absolute tidal wave. Essentially, hardly anyone's invested in this market. Only 8% of Americans are invested. The institutions, even if they put in 1%, 1% of the asset allocation out of fixed interest or equities or foreign exchange or real estate, we're talking trillions. So, we could see a market a lot higher than where it is at the moment. That's my personal opinion anyway. Let's just go to Ethereum. Ethereum's one that has, I don't think it's performed as well as others, and there is a bit of negative about Ethereum. Tron, as you know, has been using Ethereum, and it is about to go on its own blockchain, and they did say the other day that they had a lot of issues with Ethereum using Ethereum technology, using Ethereum as a platform, whether it be the processing of transactions or multi-signature wallets and the like. and honestly they just had a lot of issue, and they're going to be very happy, as Justin Sun said, to get off the Ethereum platform. I don't particularly like Ethereum myself either. I do believe it's got a lot of problems which haven't been fixed, and you know, there's other competitors out there which seem to be better, but you know, they say they're better, but they're pretty much untested. I don't like Neo either, because Neo only has 6 nodes, and you know, was offline, you know, a lot in October of last year, and there was all sorts of problems with Neo. Some people say that EOS is great technology, but I'd need to really have a look at it and just see, you know, whether the technology works either. And my understanding is EOS is going to be using their own blockchain in June or July, so it'll be very interesting. Anyway, Ethereum, just here at looking at the daily, you know, we've got an Ichimoku cloud here, which is a level of resistance of 679.80. On the pivot level, it's around 731.61. I use pivots because the institutional market has always used pivots. So, and they also use the Ichimoku, particularly Japanese traders. The Ichimoku cloud is very big in foreign exchange trading, and so is the pivots. So the pivots, and they're very big, particularly on fixed interest trading and bond trading, which I've done both. And also even in equities trading, the pivots are very, very big. So that's why I use these indicators. If you can have here, even the volume of Ethereum is not that great compared to other coins. So I'm sort of I'm probably going to be in other coins over and above Ethereum for a long position. I do like, as I said, Bitcoin Gold, so I'm still long that. Let's just go back and have a look at this. I'm very specific about the coins I like to get long or short. The 4 hourly, looking at that, you know, there is sort of resistance right here, right now. It'll be interesting to see if that can sustain it. Ethereum, we'll just have to wait. But let's have a look at Ripple. I did have a look at Ripple earlier today, and I've been of the view Ripple's still way too cheap. And to me, on the dailies, it does look like it can break out to me. So if we take Ripple back, let's just go back to the weekly. I think that's important. As you know, Ripple has been a lot higher. And again, Ripple constantly keep adding new clients. I will do another update on Ripple. But on the weekly, Ripple looks like it could easily, to me, get to 150. There is not much stopping it getting to 150. If I take it back to the daily, let's have a look at the daily. I will do another update on Ripple. The daily has done a lot of consolidation around here. This looks like, to me, it can break out really easily. It's above the Ichimoku line. It's above the pivot line. To me, this thing looks like it can easily break out to $1.50 very, very quickly. Volume starting to rise. If I look at the 4 hourly, we even had the Dutch Central Bank the other day saying they really liked Ripple's technology, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Dutch Central Bank takes on their technology. We know that the Bank of England is testing Ripple's technology. We also know the Fed, the US Fed, is looking at their technology as well. So I have, just on the 4 hourly, Ripple could easily get to 0.98944. There are other people that are testing Ripple's technology, and I'll give you an update on that later on. Plus, they are using Ripple coin. So I'm very long Ripple, and I do hold Ripple as an investment. And at the moment, I'm long Bitcoin and Bitcoin Gold. Let's check out Neo. Neo is one I don't like. I don't tend to, if I don't like a coin, I tend to stay away from it, or I'll take a short position on it when I think the market's going down. Neo is back up to about 80-ish, and it's right on resistance here at 80.78. Let's take the daily. Oops, just grab up that daily. I'll only look at the coins that I'm interested in, because there are a lot to look at, and you just don't have time. I do think the market can go higher. That's my honest belief. Neo looks like it's got to get through this Ichimoku cloud of 97.34, but if it does, the next level is sort of 106. Volume's not great. It's been good here, but it's not really great here. So there's other coins I'd rather be in. Let me just have a look at Tron. Tron will be going to their own blockchain very soon off Ethereum. I've been a holder of Tron, and I like Tron very much, and I do think Tron will break out. Tron looks like, to me, you can get to 0.072 on the daily quite easily. Got a parabolic buy, volume starting to increase, everything's up, green, blue, green, the histogram plus the accumulation index and the moving averages. Looks very good technically on the daily, very good indeed. The 4-hourly, plus they're doing an airdrop as well, is hitting resistance here at 0.058909, but if it breaks that, this thing could easily get to about 8 cents. Tron, just want to have a look at, also I hold other things. I do hold Verge, and I do like Verge. I think there's, you know, some real stupidity out there. You know, this guy, as I said before, you know, Data Dash, he's got 300,000 clients. Like, I'm just jealous of subscribers, but just because, you know, they've got a client that's into porn doesn't mean that it's not great for Verge's business, which it is. I mean, Pornhub already came out and said, you know, thousands of coins, thousands of transactions are being done through Verge on their sites. And if you look at Pornhub, basically they've got all different types of businesses that are owned by some conglomerate, and they're a global institution. And you know, porn doesn't go away, and it's probably, you know, one of the best businesses to be in, apart from, you know, being in funeral services and you know, because we've ultimately got to die as well. But you know, yes, this is we do have a sell on this 0.0660, but I still think this is an opportunity to buy this coin. That's my own belief for me, and I'll hold what I've got. And if it does get a little bit lower, around that, you know, anything under 6, I've got a buy order in there. I think it's a good story to buy anything under 6 from my portfolio. You know, but the fact that people moralise about what sort of clients they've got, I just think it's absolute bunkum crap, garbology. To me, the fundamentals are there, and it's a very cheap entry for what this coin can do. You can either go public or private with your transaction. My understanding is they can process about 1,400 transactions per second, which is very good compared to other shitty coins out there, like Ethereum, which, you know, yes, it's got a, you know, a platform, but I don't think Ethereum's got the best platform for ICOs. I mean, you can do, you know, you can do an ICO on Ripple's platform, you know, and Ripple's platform, there is never any problem with it. There's never been any negative, nothing. You know, and Ethereum has a lot of problems. So the fact that, and also Ethereum only, you know, you can process about 6 to 8, about 12 transactions a second or something. That's if the miners are processing everything properly, and, you know, there's no queuing process and, you know, all that sort of thing. And Bitcoin, again, you know, if you've got a problem with the miners and there's a queuing, you may not get your Bitcoin done for 48 hours. And as I said before, Justin Ho from Tron said that, you know, being on the Ethereum platform was just terrible. There was just such delay in transactions and everything else, so not good. Another one I do want to look at, which I do like very much, is ADA or Cardano, and I also like Stellar, and they're all the ones that have done very well in this week and last week. ADA's basically, what do we got, up to nearly 30 cents by the looks of it. If we look at the daily on that one, it does look very good. Cardano. This one's, the coin developer is Hoskinson. This thing looks like it can get to 39 cents, 40 cents to me on the daily, and this thing could go for a run as well. Charles Hoskinson could go for a run, maybe even potentially 63 cents. So I like Cardano. It's a bit low on the volume though, but let's just have a look at that. Could run away. And also another one I do like is Stellar, which has done very well lately as well. I am on the hunt for other coins where I think there's value. I do, when I get time, I do like to have a look. Let's just have a look at Stellar. Oops, bear with me. Come on. Sometimes my fingers are going too fast and the internet's a bit slow, which is annoying. I've got the fastest internet. Okay, Stellar, Let's just go to the daily first. Stella's done really well. It's basically doubled in the last couple of weeks. So let's go to the daily. Some people think Stella and Ripple are the same. They're not. Ripple is much better technology, has the clients on board and has a lot of clients, like over 120. Ripple has basically 25 billion, yes, in cash. You know, don't forget it has Saudi Arabia as a client, central bank, it's getting more. Looking at Stella, the daily looks like it can get to 50 cents. It looks very good on the daily. And again, if we look at the 4 hourly, sorry about that line there, I'll just fix it up later. These things always go longer than I want, 20 minutes, my apologies. If you look at the 4 hourly, on the 4 hourly, it looks like it can break 40 cents, and it looks quite bullish on the 4 hourly, even though we've got a sell here. Actually, you might, on that one, just short term, just looking at the moving averages and everything, they're all a bit negative, and you might go maybe to 37, something like that, or even potentially 0.35. So for me, if I was going to buy some more of this, I'd probably wait on that, because it looks like it can come down a little bit just in terms of profit taking. Another one where I've got a spread on and I'm keeping it on for a while is Ripple Ethereum. I don't like Ethereum, as you know, and I love Ripple. So I felt Ripple was way too cheap and Ethereum was too expensive. So I bought Ripple and sold Ethereum. And I'm surprised the spread's not actually going higher. But no, I'm keeping that on. I got into the spread under 1, but I am keeping that on for a long time because I believe the spread, you know, will be a lot higher in the next 6 months in favour of Ripple, basically. So I'm probably not even going to think about taking the spread off until it gets to maybe 0.027 or maybe 0.03. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps. Sorry for going too long. Look after yourselves, be kind to yourself, be kind to your family and your friends and animals and other people, and just make this world a better place, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers, Susie. Thank you.